Welcome back, guys. You might be wondering why we got this all out here. Well, in this video we're going to be getting this car painted. We're going to be getting it in some black paint, and hopefully it turns out well. But we got it all prepped for paint. We went ahead and put another coat of primer on and sanded it with 400. It's nice and smooth. It looks good. Looks nice and straight. We won't know for sure until we get our first coat of clear on. And then we're going to go ahead and look with some flashlights and make sure everything's nice and good. And if it's not, we're going to go ahead and let that dry and fix it. And then go ahead and paint over where we fixed it. And then clear the whole thing again. But first thing what we need to do is we need to get this thing all taped up and ready for us to shoot some epoxy primer. That's our sealer, so we'll be using that. But I say we go ahead and get this taped up. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribing. Helps us out a lot. And yeah, let's hop into getting this thing taped up. Guys, as you can see, we got it all taped up. Took quite a bit of time. I'm not the fastest when it comes to getting things taped, but it's actually looking really good. But next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking some seam sealer and putting it in that groove right there. So we're going to wipe the whole car down real quick and then tape this off, probably like right there. Tape it off, tape this off, and we'll be putting some seam sealer down there. It has it already in there, but we're just gonna put a skim coat on it so that it looks clean. And then on the back here, I think you can see it over here. Let's walk over here. Right here, there's a little hole. So we're gonna seam seal that up too. And then it'll all be looking good. So let's put some seam sealer on this. Alrighty, so we got the section taped off here. As you can see, we're just gonna go ahead and put it in there and take our finger with the glove on it and just run it down, and it will make it look nice and clean. So that's what we're gonna go do now. So yeah, let's go get a caulking gun and some gloves and see how this turns out. We got the door cracked with some fans blowing out the air that way. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put some gloves on, blow ourselves off, and then we're gonna take a tack cloth and wipe this whole thing down. And then we're gonna go mix up some epoxy primer and get this thing sealed. And then after that, we have to wait an hour to put our first base coat down. So we'll probably just hang out for that hour. But yeah, let's go ahead and get a tack cloth and wipe this whole thing down so that there's no dirt, no nothing on it. And then we'll get our first coats of epoxy primer on here for our sealed coat. 20 ounces, 22 ounces mixed up. We're gonna go ahead and put 2 coats on here. When we did primer, it was about, we put 60 ounces on for 3 coats, so we might have to mix up some more. But let's go ahead and spray this and get our first coat on here, and then we will wait for the next coat about 15 minutes, and we'll put another one on and see how it looks. So let's go ahead and spray it. Good. Right now, what's not looking good is the roof. There's a little spot that it dripped on there, and I guess it just dripped on there, and then we tried to get it off after it dried. It's not gonna look too good once it's painted, but we don't know. But we'll probably have to fix that up later when we put clear on the thing again. But for now, let's go start spraying some base coat and see how it turns out.
Got some feelings that I've kept inside. Tell me your reasons for leaving me behind.
Alrighty guys, we got it all painted. It's looking nice and good, nice and black. We did get some dirt in it, and there's a little run right there and one here. Our gun dripped out of the cup. I don't know how it happened, but we went ahead and cleared the rest of it. But it's looking really good. As you can see, there is 2 little dings over here. Right there on the wheel well. You can barely see them, but we don't like that. So we're gonna go ahead and get that fixed up so that it's perfect. But look how bright it is. You can see my truck in the reflection right there. As you can see, it's dark out now. It's been a long day. But yeah, it's looking amazing. Look at that reflection. Like, that's before we even get more clear on it and get it buffed. But I mean, this thing's gonna be looking amazing. But we're gonna probably let this dry overnight and then come back and take off this wrapping or the plastic. But when we get this thing all done and buffed, it's gonna be looking shiny. I mean, it doesn't even look like it's black really. It just looks like a mirror. And that's before buffing and before more clear. So we're gonna go ahead and call it a night and be back in the morning and see how it looks. Guys, so it's the next day. It's nice and dry. Look how good that's looking. There's some dirt in it, but it'll sand all out. Here's where we got that little run from where it dripped out of our gun. But besides that, guys, I mean, it's a little dry right here, but that's good, it gets covered. But I mean, it's actually looking really good. Let's go check out this dent over here that we saw last night. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it on camera or not, but looks like there's a little one right here, which that we'll be fixing. You can feel it, so we'll probably do that or fix that. But for right now, let's get this thing untaped and see how it looks untaped. guys, we just got it untaped and oh my gosh, this thing is looking fantabulous. You know, I don't want to get ahead of myself or anything, but I think that this, or you know, say that I did good on this, but for my first big paint job, I think this turned out very fantastic. I mean, this thing looks amazing. Here's a walk around of it. This is our first set of clear. We will be putting 6 more coats of clear on it so that it looks really deep. And this is before wet sanding that we're probably going to get ready to do, which I hate to do just because it'll get rid of this shine for now until we get more clear on it. But it's looking really good, guys. And for my first paint job this big, I think I did a great job. It looks weird with this bed. There's my little smiley face I painted. But what we'll be doing with this bed is we're going to be putting bed liner all the way up to that little right here.